We get a 1, personal space, 2, personal space, 3.
Hey, hello listeners. This is just a quick disclaimer for this week's episode. As anyone that's listened to the show before knows, there can be some adult language, and anyone that's listening for the first time, please keep that in mind. We tend to be ourselves and not filter, so occasionally a bad word might come out. If you have any children in the room, please put on some headphones or have them put on some headphones. Thank you.
That I don't even care about this. I'm not even interested in having this skin on my personal space.
You're listening to the IDP Guys with Sean, John, and Nathan, the Wizards of Fantasy Football. Your go-to source for the individual defensive player strategy. And now, 3 guys who could only make an NFL team on Madden.
Hey, what's up, everybody? This is the IDP Guys, episode 133. My name is Nathan. I'm joined with my co-host, Johnny.
Greetings.
And Sean.
What's going on, guys?
Hey. So we've got, we just went through our first week of the IDP Invitational Playoffs. Had a few guys on bye. Johnny was one of them. But I do want to give a major shout out to the first people to go out in our playoffs. They're the bottom 12 for this week. Bourbon Cowboy, Brandon Rojas, Jason Fluke, Tripp, Rich Winson, Ian Harris, Jason Lesher, Joe Grunsby, Nick Choplick, Craig A. Ruth, Kyle LaPointe, Chuck Leary Jr. Thank you for playing this year. Make sure you sign up for next year. Go to idpguys.org, and there's a button to click in. For the 2021 IDP Invitational Playoffs. It was a great cause. We raised, I believe, about $2,000 for autism awareness, and it's been a good season. And glad we're in the playoffs. Sean's not in it because he refuses to play MFL. But Johnny, what do you? How are you doing in that league?
Good. I was at 360 this week, and I didn't have to be at 360 this week. I just set a lineup anyway to see what would happen, and I would have been fine.
Yeah, absolutely. You got to buy because you won the
hardest division.
Yeah, one of the hardest.
Yeah.
But alrighty. With that, let's jump into the question. What's something you did different this season compared to seasons past in terms of fantasy football strategy?
So I'll answer for me, and then I'll answer for you also, Nate. So for me, I was setting my lineups far more often. Just with the number of injuries that were going down and the amount of stuff that was just totally unexpected, I was setting my full lineups about 4 times a week. And I really think that that's kind of what helped me out this year. Why I had such a solid year in overall is just that I always had people playing. I was always prepared for, like if these games get postponed, what is my contingency plan, all that stuff. And then along with that, you start to recognize problems with your roster pretty early, which then helps you to go and make the proper moves on the waiver wire before they become an actual issue. And then I'd say the thing Nate did differently was not setting his lineups.
Yeah.
You had a busy year.
Yeah, no, it was a rough year, especially with the Tuesday, the Wednesday games, the double headers Monday, the weird stuff going on. But that's something I've always done. I set alarms. I'm like OCD with that stuff, so I don't miss any of that stuff ever. Something I did different this year was looking at opposing offense for streaming in shallower IDP leagues. Because there are weeks when it's like in those shallow leagues, you've got a bunch of really good linebackers sitting on waivers, and are you going to play, Tremaine Edmonds against Chicago or something? That their run game has traditionally been crap all year. Or get someone that's got a better matchup and sit your stud that week and go with the better matchup. I did that a lot this year, and it worked out pretty good. But yeah, like what Sean said, that was key this year. Doing the same thing at the same times every week and setting your lineups a ton, like often, several times throughout the week, was definitely important.
Yeah. I think now, as Sean had said, like I've been busy, so my fantasy game hasn't been right up there where it usually is. But the biggest strategy that I like intentionally put in place this year would have to be with the COVID leagues, where I try to draft different in each league, and that caused me to have different assets and different hits during the season. Like this isn't a COVID league, but it kind of came around that same time. The Unreal Tournament League. I think you're in it, Sean, with Big Three.
Yeah, those. I think one of the three I didn't make the playoffs in.
Yeah, I just took first seed. I have a banging team that was made of guys that you wouldn't necessarily have known were going to be good this year. Just by trying different combinations of people, this one happened to, be a good league. And I think I added to it by making a trade for Derrick Henry. So it was,
Yeah, that was the league I had Barkley and I think Dak go down in. So it was and then my backup was Wentz, which has been a train wreck. So
yeah, this league I've got Josh Allen and Ben Roethlisberger as my two quarterbacks.
That'll work.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah, nice that you wouldn't have thought of, 8 months ago. And then I've got James Robinson that came out in that league. Myles Gaskin. There's a few.
Yeah. I have Myles Gaskin in so many leagues. It's crazy.
Yeah. But yeah, that was the major change that I did this year. And honestly, in Startup Dynasty, like I'm glad I did that, because those leagues, like I'm set up for a good couple years. But with that, how'd you guys do this week?
Pretty good, all things considered. Actually missed the playoffs in 4 out of 22. Because I'm just remembering, I brought this up in the Slack chat earlier. I missed the playoffs. I'd been in the championship the last 2 years, had not won it. I missed the playoffs with a team that had Ryan Tannehill, Nick Chubb, Aaron Jones, DeAndre Hopkins, Keenan Allen, Mark Andrews, Terry McLaurin, Brandon Cooks as my starting lineup, because of that stupid J.K. Dobbins touchdown that should have never happened at the end of the game, where it was like, yep, they're just going to run the ball twice and kneel it. And then, of course, Gus Edwards just breaks off a huge one and puts J.K. Dobbins in place to score. So I ended that league with the second most points and missed the playoffs at 6-6.
That was a big touchdown yesterday. So that big cash league that that I was in last year, that I won $300 in second place, I was going to miss after that Cooper touchdown, and the J.K. Dobbins touchdown erased that and brought me back in. So that was I did not see that coming. That was great. I'll take it.
Nice.
And no one saw that coming. It should have never happened. Like it did. It was. I was locked into victory there, and then that had to happen.
Yep. Yeah. Okay. So I did really good this week. 21 out of 26 total. 10-4 sleeper. 5-3 Yahoo. 3-1 my fantasy league. Not eliminated. It's me, Hollywood, and Eric Hauf as the final 3 in Hollywood's eliminator. In playoffs in 7 of 8 in Yahoo, all 4 in my fantasy league, and 10 of 14 in sleeper, 21 of 26 total, $55 in DFS. So good week all around.
Nice. Yeah, I'm not going into how many I made playoffs and how many I didn't, because that is just going to make me look really bad. But I did advance in the IDP Invitational, and I got the first seed in Unreal Tournament, and I got a handful of other playoff chances. But I like my chances as that number 1 seed in Unreal Tournament, because I get to play 2 kind of no names rather than Joey or Johnny. When I come back from bye, I think Adam has to play either one of you two, because you're playing each other in that league for the first round. So I don't have to contend with one of the big IDP big shots.
Jesus, cat.
What'd your cat do?
Just sprinted across the room and slid across the table. You didn't see her whack the computer?
No, not at all. That's funny, but alrighty.
What's up, guys? It's Josh,
Adam,
and Bobby
here with the Big 3 IDP podcast. And if you've never listened to our show before, here's just a taste of the insanity that you will get week in and week out with the Big 3 IDP podcast.
skunks are so cute.
We just ate White Castle at like 10:45 at night.
I tell you, one I liked about it a little bit more was Jeffrey Simmons.
Ooh, did you say a Bartman, like Steve Bartman? I don't like Bartman in Chicago this year. He's going to catch too many foul balls.
You know it's all about getting real and getting down to business and getting down to the facts.
Slide 'em in, slide 'em out.
It's right.
So, if you would like more of the shenanigans that you just heard in these little snippets, be sure to subscribe to the Big 3 IDP podcast wherever you get your podcast adding. Listeners are guaranteed to have a good time.
Hey, you can't afford not to do this, baby.
That's right, baby.
This week's news.
Okie dokie. Another interesting news week. Let's see. We've got nothing good. Well, one thing, possibly good. Jalen Hurts, named starter. Carson Wentz, rug pulled out from under him. I'm okay with this. I'm on board. Let's let her rip.
So, the thing is, Jalen Hurts is probably better for their current situation, because right now, Carson Wentz is – here's every Carson Wentz throw. Drop back to pass, nobody open, either throw into coverage or flail around and get sacked. Jalen Hurts comes in, same situation, except sub out the flail around and get sacked and sub in run for 2 yards. And, I mean, I'll take 2 yards over -8. So, I mean, if he completes a pass every once in a while, you know, whatever.
Yep. I mean, it's better than what we had. We'll see what happens. Okay, Bud Dupree, torn ACL. This one is not great. Alex Highsmith is the replacement. You guys lose any Bud Dupree?
Nope.
No.
Yep, me either. DeAndre Swift, brain injury. What was that?
Concussion.
Yeah, I know.
They usually just call it a brain injury.
Yeah, but I mean, you saw the Peterson quote, right?
Yeah. To be honest, I don't know what the hell Peterson's doing commenting on that. But I would guess that it's not dissimilar from other concussions.
Yeah, I just thought it was interesting how he kind of threw him under the bus like that. That was not great.
Yeah, I have no idea what Peterson's doing talking about that stuff.
So, what did Peterson say? I missed that.
He said he looks lethargic because he's got a brain injury.
Yeah, he's like, hasn't seemed like himself, doesn't have a lot of energy. Just basically saying, like, this dude's fucked up. It's just like you don't ever do that to your teammates. Like, I don't know what he was thinking. Just don't say that. Like, leave it alone.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, it wasn't a good look. Do you guys want to shut down Swift rest of the year?
It's not going to happen because Bevel thinks he has a shot at the head coaching job, and
Ugh.
what do you know? The Lions win a game, and suddenly Lions fans want him to be their head coach. It's just God. Lions Twitter is such a train wreck this year. It's just ridiculous. I'm so upset about it. What's more upsetting about the Bevel situation to me is that he's been calling garbage all year long. And then it just kind of seems like now that Patricia was fired, he decided to like pull out the stops and mix things up. And it's like, but why didn't you do that before? Like, why suddenly?
I feel like this is a common thing that happens, especially when like a coach either knows they're going to be fired or they're like grasping at straws. I feel like this happened like when Caldwell was close to being fired, when Jim Shorts was close to being fired. Like they go into the meeting and just say we're scrapping everything and doing something different, and it's like they win a game and then they're like, oh, okay, I guess I'm good, and then they don't.
I guess for me though, like Bevel, your job has been on the line all year. Like
Right.
It's not like suddenly your job is on the line. Like your job's been on the line since week 1. So like why didn't you say scrap it? We're going to try something different before.
How much influence do you think Patricia had over him and what they did?
0.
Yeah.
I don't think he had any influence over the offense, which is what's so just mind-numbing to me about the situation. But realistically, the game plan from the beginning of the year should have been put the ball in Matthew Stafford's hands, let him air it out, run motion, run play action, do all the good stuff, take shots deep, profit. Instead, we got Adrian Peterson up the middle on first and second down for 10 weeks.
Steel underpants. Step 2. Step 3. Profit. Yes. Blake Cashman to IR. Harvey Lange is the way to go. So that's fun.
I mean, Cashman's been pretty much on IR all year. He hasn't, even when he came back, he hasn't really been playing.
Yeah, he played special team snaps. That's it.
Yeah.
Not great.
Yeah.
More bad IR news. Trey Flowers to IR, the one without the Y. But this gives us DJ Reed again. So I'm actually kind of into it.
Yeah.
Yep. We'll see what happens there. Jets fire Greg with 2 G's Williams after that.
Holy hell. I couldn't believe I watched that live. Like I could not believe my eyes when that happened. I'm just sitting there. I'm like, huh. Okay. What happened here?
Wild. I mean, does anyone buy the conspiracy theories that he was like told to do that?
I think if he was told to do that, we would have heard about it already because you can't tell a coach to do that and then fire him for doing it and expect him to stay quiet about it.
Yep. Yeah.
I can't believe they were close to winning that game.
Well, I mean, Pittsburgh lost to Washington too.
True. That would have been a crazy week if those 2 upsets happened simultaneously.
Yep. Any given Sunday. Panthers got some coronavirus shenanigans going on. Apparently it was an outside team gathering. That's the cause or whatever. Regardless, it's not good. We're not getting DJ Moore this week. Curtis Samuel. Who else? There's some others.
Yeah.
How's CMC looking?
He was okay. He's on the news a little further down. It's not good. Yeah. So, you guys got any fallout from this? Yeah, I got some DJ Moore. I'm not gonna get. That's not great.
Robbie Anderson's still available, though, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he's the only target there now.
Pretty much.
I'm into that.
Should be
shout out to Joey for convincing me to get a single Robbie Anderson chair.
Nice.
Yeah, he's had a good year. Okay, so CMC was going to be good to go this week, but he injured his quad today, and now he's not probably going to be good to go.
Do we know what it is?
Quad.
Yes, but but do we know what happened to it?
Oh, I have no idea. I just read the story. It said he tweaked his quad, whatever that means.
Okay, so this could be 1 week. It could be a season ender. We don't know.
Yeah, no, I have no idea. But
right.
not great for
him to come back for playoffs.
Right,
Yeah.
right. Regardless, it's not great for first week of playoffs. So we'll see what happens there. Steelers lose. Robert Spillane hurt. Avery Williamson in. Good for Williamson. Not great for the Steelers. What'd you guys think of that game?
Yeah, I mean that was not the way I expected it to go. Put it that way.
Yeah, they made some good adjustments at halftime. They really did.
Yeah. I was bummed McLaurin couldn't do more. That was the cause of one of my other leagues not making the playoffs. Needed McLaurin to outscore Zeke, and I think he put up 1.5
Yeah, no, that was not a good week for him. But yeah, I mean, this has been coming, right? The Steelers have been playing down to their competition and playing up to their competition. Just whoever's in front of them, it's usually close, unless it's the Browns, in which case they just split their butt cheeks. So it was going to happen. Yeah. Okay, Michigan spared embarrassment on the national stage due to coronavirus. This is unfortunate for Ohio State, though. I know this is an NFL podcast, but we're not getting Michigan Ohio State this weekend. That kind of sucks.
Yeah.
It also means Ohio State's
going to say it. Yep.
Okay. Yeah. So they can't
qualify. Yeah.
Yeah. They can't play in the Big Ten championship, which means they also won't be in the playoffs. And RIP Ohio State season.
I thought that they were trying to put in another game. It was something to do with the Big Ten had to approve a replacement game.
Yeah, cookie cutter game. I'm sure they'll push for it,
Right.
Something.
Yeah.
I don't know if they'll get it, but they want to.
Yeah. Not great though. Because I mean, you take them out of the mix, and it's Notre Dame, Clemson, Alabama, and then question mark.
I think Cincinnati's still in the running. I think they're still undefeated, which would be a wild one. But I think Oklahoma's still up there too.
They got a couple losses.
Really? Okay.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I haven't checked the standings in a minute here.
Georgia has 2 as well. I think. I'm pretty sure. So we really
Georgia shouldn't be in the conversation.
Right. We need Ohio State in the conversation, or it's going to be 3 legit teams, and if you want to call Notre Dame legit, and one that just gets blown away.
Sorry, it was not Oklahoma. It was Texas A&M. So you got after Ohio State, Cincinnati had to have lost. So you've got Texas A&M, Florida, both with 1 loss. Iowa State, 2 losses. Cincinnati is still undefeated.
Yeah.
Georgia's got 2. Miami's got 1. Oklahoma's got 2. Indiana's got 1. You got Coastal Carolina still undefeated too.
I'd be down with if Ohio State can't get back in. I'd be down with Florida. I mean, it'd be great for Cincinnati to go as a program, but let's be real. They'd get Alabama and they would get fucking annihilated.
Sure, but I mean, what's the point of playing the season if you're going to have a team like Cincinnati just go undefeated and then just be like, sorry, we're going to put a 2-loss team in instead of you? What's even the point of the season? Yeah.
Is Cincinnati in front of Florida right now?
No, they have Cincinnati ranked 8th behind a 2-loss Iowa State team and a 1-loss A&M and a 1-loss Florida.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see what happens. Should be interesting. And last but not least, AJ Boye suspended 6 games PEDs. Seems to be going around. Not great. Good streaming corner. Not good.
Yeah. I mean, that's about all you could say.
Yep. Okay, a couple notes. Reaction. I mean, you guys already somewhat covered it. Reactions to the Lions win. So we talked about this last week, things that might change after the new administration. Not a ton. Griffin saw more snaps. Okwara saw a lot more snaps. Ragland saw no snaps, basically. J-Ron Curse also saw a tumble. Walker remains the same. Duron Harmon is the safety to own, apparently, as strange as that is. Thoughts?
Yeah, I don't like any of this. Just, there's no reason to have any Lions IDP players right now.
Yeah, I'm okay with Collins.
Jamie Collins, yeah.
Yeah, I got Okwara in a couple like really deep places. That's it though.
Yeah.
You know why?
Yeah, Romeo's been good this year.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
And last but not least, Nate, you want to tell us about Prediction Strike? I believe it's called.
Yeah. So this is something that came up in Twitter timeline. Tyler Joseph had tagged both of us in it in some promotion that they were doing, but it piqued my interest enough to sign up for their app and take a look. And it is essentially like player stocks. You go through just a list of like players that have different values, and I'm assuming that the values are assigned based off of how well they're doing. I'm not fully certain how they pick the prices, but so like you might purchase a share of Clyde Edwards-Helaire right now at $2.85, and he is currently right now trending down 33%. So if he comes out and has a good game or good news comes out, that then changes, his value goes up, and then you could sell him at say $3.50, and then you essentially win that whatever the difference is there of like 70-80 cents. And Tyler Joseph, apparently he bought in Antonio Gibson at like 20 cents or something, and then he blew up and he sold his shares at like $5, made some money off of it. So I don't know exactly how it all works. Apparently you're buying it from the app makers and not from like other owners. So like in normal stocks, like the company has a initial offering where they sell the stocks out, and then from there, like Sean would be holding a stock and then selling it to John at whatever the market value is. It doesn't seem to be that type of situation, so I'm not too sure like how it's regulated or controlled, but it falls under DFS, Daily Fantasy Sports, and they have it for NFL and NBA. And you just have a portfolio and you buy your stocks, they increase, and then you sell. You can get multiple shares. So like if I wanted Logan Thomas at $3.80 a share and I wanted to say buy 100 shares, I would be purchasing that for $389.50. And hopefully he goes up and then I sell those 100 shares and make whatever that sale price is. So it's an interesting concept.
Yeah, that's really cool. That he said no IDP yet, right?
There's no IDP yet, so it's all offensive players, and I believe there's kickers.
Oh,
so,
all right.
That could be interesting on the kicker aspect because they would be so volatile, I guess, and generally your more volatile stock is where you can make big, quick returns. But yeah, like Aldrich Rosas is 63 cents right now, and he's up 6%. Taysom Hill, $11.85. I'd imagine that a few weeks ago he would have been pennies.
Oh, that's a good point. That's interesting. We'll have to look at that more in the off season because that sounds like the type of degenerate shit I could get into.
Right. It's cool, and It would be nice if they'd add in IDP and
hit us up for a sponsorship.
yeah, there you go. For Jonny the Greek.
There you go. Awesome. All right, cool.
MyFantasyFootballShirt.com is your place to get top quality fantasy football gear. Get yourself some merch from some of your favorite podcasts. Need some custom shirts for your league? Contact us today. Just go to MyFantasyFootballShirt.com.
Gut check.
All right, here we go. We pair similar players together. Talk about who we like, who we don't like. Send it out to you on Twitter and see what you think. So with that, let's start with last week's gut checks. Sean, you're looking at me like I just did something.
You killed it. That was the cleanest delivery you've had. And it took 3.5 years, but we got there.
Yep. 133 episodes. So, with that, we got a pair of linebackers. Philadelphia's Alex Singleton. The Raiders' Nick Kwiatkowski with 186 votes. 60% Singleton.
This isn't a big one for me. I could go either way. I don't really care.
Yeah, I don't give that much of a shit, but I think Kwiatkowski is probably safer long term.
Gotcha. All right. So pair corners. The Rams' Troy Hill versus Miami's Xavier Howard with 138 votes. 66% Xavier Howard.
That one should have been bigger.
Yeah, Troy Hill keeps having these crazy games. He had another pick 6 last week. Like it's people see the numbers.
Yeah,
but yes, I agree.
Before we go on, how do you like Xavier Howard going into next year as a stash?
A lot.
Yeah. Okay. Nice.
And I think in our scoring for the COVID leagues, he's like corner 4. He's defensive back 4.
Yeah, he's up there.
I found him on the waiver wire in one league and put a claim.
Yeah, it all depends on the scoring. But if you do the big play scoring, similar to what we do, he's top 5 corner or top 5 defensive back.
Mm-hmm. All right, so a pair of quarterbacks. Houston's Deshaun Watson, Chargers' Justin Herbert with 169 votes. 55% Deshaun Watson.
Yep.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, and hey, who could have seen? Who would have thought that Belichick would just completely shut down a rookie quarterback like that? And that never happens, right?
Yeah. Well, and just like ruined people's seasons between him and Miles Sanders. Like, I got to believe that a ton of people missed the playoffs because of that.
No doubt. Alrighty. I played what's his face instead from the Rams.
Goff.
Yeah, thank you, Goff. Yes, much better day. Okay, this week we got a pair of running backs from the same team that are both actually peaking around about the same time.
Hey, I got a question.
Yep.
I want an audible here.
Yeah.
For this gut check, I think we should do stash like who we like better for next year.
Oh yeah,
Sure.
that's fine. Yeah, that's fine. I mean, that could be
the end of
part of your answer. Sure. Yeah.
yeah.
Yep. So who you guys want? Naheem Hines or Jonathan Taylor? Obviously, I want Taylor long term, but I actually like Hines better for the rest of this year for PPR value.
I think I'm still taking Taylor.
Nate?
Yeah, I'm thinking Taylor here. What do you think Hines has as far as value next year? Do you think they play him anywhere near the similar role?
I wouldn't bet on it.
I think his career goes the route of Duke Johnson, where he gradually sees less and less carries and sees the same number of targets when he's on the field.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it is nice though that Taylor's finally starting to like do what we were hoping for, like
Score
now.
Points.
Yeah, seriously, better late than never. Okay, here's another good one for you. A couple of young linebackers, Joe Schobert of the Jacksonville Jags or Dion Jones of the Falcons. I think long term, I want Dion Jones, and I think this year I want Dion Jones.
Yep, Dion Jones for both.
Gotcha. Yeah. I'm not sure. I don't know. I don't have any Dion Jones this year, and it doesn't seem like he's been doing the greatest.
What? He's been
He's been
killing it.
quite good.
He
Yeah.
has.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I've been hearing more about Foyesade Aluakun over there.
That's because he was a little more unexpected.
Mhm.
Let me pull up where he's ranked in the COVID league.
I'd be curious to know, just because I kind of feel like both of these guys are getting close to pasture.
Dion Jones is still young for sure.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So Dion
Yeah, no.
Jones is 26 years old, and by our scoring, he is linebacker 5.
Woo! Jesus.
Yeah. I mean, he had the bad year last year, and I think I jumped off the train, so I haven't really been watching him close. So that's, I mean, good for him. That's always
Yeah. No, it's
good
nice
to
to
have a
see him.
comeback like that.
Yeah, good to see him back as an LB1. Most def. Last but not least, we got a pair of defensive ends. These guys are both on the younger side too. In Cincinnati, Sam Hubbard, or in Las Vegas now, Max Crosby. This may not be popular, but I'm going to go with Sam Hubbard because once again, now that he's back, he's healthy, and he's playing as much as he's supposed to. He's putting up a ton of combined tackles every week, and I'll take combined tackles over inconsistent spotty sacks any day of the week. It's more consistent. It's more reliable. I'll go with that. I like them both, though.
It definitely depends on your league setup. So, like, volatility is a lot bigger of an issue when you're, say, like starting one defensive lineman or one defensive end. If you're starting like a full 4 defensive linemen, you can afford to have that pass rush volatility because it evens out across the 4. So, like, basically, you're smoothing out your edges. So, for me, I still want pass rush production over tackles if I'm playing in a league where you're starting several defensive linemen.
Yep. I don't know. I just like the consistency, but yeah, there's setups for everything. So, yep.
Yeah, I've got both, and I definitely, as a gut feeling, feel better about Hubbard. So that's probably from his consistent tackles. And Crosby is one of those guys where generally I'm missing the week. He has a bad week, I bench him, and then he has a good week, I play him, and then he has a bad week, and I bench him. So
That's why you just play your studs and you roll with them.
yeah. I mean, as far as like my startups and stuff, like Max Crosby was a guy I got late, so he was my replacement guy. So
Okay. Yeah, I guess
I have other studs that, would go in front of him.
I guess he didn't fall late in any of the drafts that I did this year. And I have him in a ton of leagues from drafting him last year. So I had him graded coming out above Rashawn Gary.
Alrighty, it's listener questions. They're questions from listeners. We get them from the Slack chat and
Allegedly,
and sometimes from the contact us box, and sometimes from random Outlook email accounts. We've got a few this week. It was a busy week in the listener questions section. First one is from Tony on the Slack chat, who is probably, besides Joe G, the second most active member of the Slack chat, I would have to say. And he says, rest of season, so playoffs, John Johnson or Justin Simmons? That is a great question. What do you boys think? I'm going Simmons, but what do you think?
yeah, I didn't look at their matchups, so I'll let you handle this one and see it in the show notes.
I don't know what they are either. Let me see. So Simmons has Carolina this week. Johnson has New England. So definitely Simmons this week.
So then I think the answer is Simmons. For me, it's all like, you and I have had this conversation, but even the best team in the league against the lowest seeded playoff team you have about a 55 to 60, if it's really lopsided, percent chance of winning any given week. So for me, it's all about just like making it to the next round. So you just take whoever's the best for your first round matchup. Because if you don't win that one, it doesn't even matter.
Right.
Yep, survive and advance. Yeah, and these are both safety ones, so you just want to look at the better matchup. New England's passing offense is like 27th, 25th. It's terrible. Carolina's used to be top 10 earlier in the season. Now it's like middle of the pack. So that's where I would go. Okay, second one is from DJ More Toilet Humor, please, at Outlook.com. Asks, are you getting Cyberpunk 2077? And if so, how much time do you plan on spending on designing your character's package?
Like, wait, the package as in
The
Between
package.
the
Exactly what you think it means.
gotcha.
Yeah. That's apparently quite a detailed part of the character design process. I'm not getting it for 2 weeks. Sean, are you getting it tomorrow?
We'll see. I'm waiting for my buddy to play it. Nate and I were actually just talking about this. I am terrible at shooters on console, and I'm good at shooters on PC. I'm so terrible on console that I don't even play them unless there's some sort of like aim assist mechanic like Red Dead or Fallout or Mass Effect or something like that. So I'm waiting for my buddy to play it a little bit and see how intensive the shooting is. And if it's pretty intensive, I'll be getting it on PC. If it's not, then I'll be getting it on PlayStation.
Oh, okay, good call. Plus, apparently, you can be a hacker. You can be like a slasher with swords and stuff.
You can be slasher with swords with a big dick, slasher with swords with a small dick,
Yes,
slasher with swords with an average dick.
right, right.
The options
Dick to the
are
left, dick
endless.
to the right.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna be packing heat. That's for sure. But yeah, no, I'll be
live
getting it
out your
soon.
fantasies. Live out your fantasies, man.
Yeah, hey, got it somehow, right?
Is that exclusive for the new consoles?
No. So that's also the reason I'm not super rushed to get it. So the version that they have out right now is not the version that is for next gen consoles. So like you can play it on next gen consoles, but you're playing the PS4 version. The PS5 version, they said, is coming out sometime in 2021, which, just knowing CD Projekt Red, could be, like they're the George R.R. Martin of video games. Like, we may never see it.
Gotcha.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
it looks awesome, bro. I'm definitely getting it.
I haven't checked in on George in a while. I kind of want to see, because he was doing a game he was writing the new From Software game, like the company that makes Dark Souls and Bloodborne, and he was supposed to be writing it, and then I guess he didn't really finish it either, and so it's just been delayed indefinitely. And it's like, what did you expect to happen if you hired George R.R. Martin to write something?
Yeah, that sounds about right. But yeah, we're all looking forward to it here, Mr. DJ Moore Toilet Humor, please. Your wish is our command. Okay, this one is from, seriously, I did not make this one up. The shitter strikes again at Outlook.com. It says that I'm
Nobody uses Outlook. You're the only one that uses Outlook.
I took a screen grab and put it in here. Okay.
I'm seeing it in the notes. But where did you get that screen grab from?
My email.
Did they tell you?
Yes.
That's how we know you're lying, because you don't put your email address out on the show at all.
No, it's from Kyle B.
Gotcha.
But he asks, with Blake, take my cash man, you sexy beast, back on IR yet again. Are we giving him the boot in Dynasty or holding out hope for next year? Thanks, fellas, and remember, poop-related road rage is real. He's got a great point on that last part right there. I'm not really into Cashman. Mosley's coming back next year. Who knows who the other guy will be? What do you think, Sean?
I really like Cashman, but it's become pretty clear he's not a part of their plans. So I think his next year is might be the last year of his rookie deal. Yeah, I believe next year is. So I might be buying him late next year if he's not playing, and just hope that he gets a change of scenery and carves out a role somewhere.
Mm-hmm. And last but not least, from Chris W. in the Slack chat, one of the not a newer subscriber. He's been there for a minute. He said, "What's up, y'all? Ran up against a buzzsaw of a team last week, and my playoff bid was denied. I think I'm all set for keepers with CEH and Chase Young. He's saying I'll see you next year, basically. But he wants to know what do you do in the offseason to get better at this, assuming it's a redraft league, but all advice is welcome." Sean, you want to start?
No, you can kick it off.
So I mean, for redraft, I'm just kind of on autopilot. Have been for a while. But what helped me get better in general at Dynasty, and I guess somewhat at redraft for rookies, was college fantasy. Adding that to the lineup, so to speak, helped me with the rookies quite a bit. And that's huge this is redraft, but it's keeper. So, that'll help. I would recommend trying it. Yahoo has free leagues. They're a lot of fun. I usually run a ton of them, but they didn't do it this year. That's what I would recommend. What do you guys think?
I think looking into which players are good rather than which players are performing is a huge part of it, because I think a lot of people get hung up on, like, around the draft time, they get hung up on situation, or they get hung up on production and IDP. And I think that player performance is more important than the actual production in terms of longevity for fantasy. So I think that buying low on players that are good, that are not putting up numbers, is generally a safe bet.
I would go. I've got two things here. One would definitely be doing mock drafts, and this was kind of said to him as a response to this question, but doing mock drafts throughout the offseason just to keep it in your head and see where values are going. And obviously keeping up with the news. But the other thing is just staying in a community, staying in a group that is consistently talking about football and at a higher level, because generally you're going to be kind of through osmosis, through just having conversations, learning more and learning who the players are to be targeting, who's trending up, like who did well the previous year that think could have broken out. And that's something like our Slack chat is really great for in the off season, because there's just, that sense of community and just talking about football. I know that especially like our staff likes to have some time to check out, because it's such a grueling, 16 weeks of content. But when we come back around to it, like just having conversations and thinking about like football here and there to keep it on your mind, so you're not coming back into redraft in July with, not knowing what's been going on for the last 6 months.
That's a good point.
Alrighty, so we're going to get into week in review and most important waivers, since it is, we're sniffing at playoffs. Playoffs this week, or for some people, they've already started. Johnny, what are those most important waivers that people need to know?
On the IDP side, we've got, once again, Steven Means Falcons, 4th week in a row. He is blown up. I think it's real. Troy Reader, while Micah Kaiser's out. Donovan Wilson, assuming he gets healthy again next week. Tay Crowder in deeper leagues. That's a Kyle B recommendation. Todd Davis, if there's no Eric Kendricks. Jermaine Carter. David Long he played like 3/4 of the snaps this week, so he's starting to kind of take over that role that Jayon Brown lost. Josh Jones is back from IR, had double-digit tackles, so right in time. That's good. Once again, Anthony Walker, if no Okereke. Nicholas Morrow. It's real. He displaced Corey Littleton. That's his job now. He is the captain. Bryce Hall, corner. Great option. Jets are 32nd in time of possession in the league. Their defense spends more time on the field than any other defense, and he gets targeted a lot. So great option. Matthias Farley, since Ashton Davis got hurt, which is unfortunate. DJ Reed, because Trey Flowers is gone. Avery Williamson, because Robert Spillane is gone. And Matt Milano or AJ Klein. I don't know which. It's all over the place right now. Milano played 31% of snaps. Klein had 69% the first week after Milano returned from IR. Just keep an eye on it. It's kind of a shit show right now. I would just avoid it entirely this week because, you don't want to screw around right now. And on offense, Sean, what do you got?
So Jalen Hurts, yes, in Superflex. Kiki Kute, probably not on your waivers. He's playing well now. So I said no last week. I'll switch that to a yes. McKissick is a yes. Anytime you can get a productive running back, yes. Logan Thomas, don't really care. Peyton Barber, no. Cam Akers, yes. Rager, maybe. You probably don't want to start him if you're in the playoffs. Zach Ertz, yes. Cam Sims, Dynasty, yes. Redraft, no. Alfred Morris, no. Cephas, no for redraft. James Washington, no. Too many targets there. Peoples Jones, if he's available, Dynasty, yes. Russell Gage, meh. Rashad Penny, probably not going to do anything, but you're aiming for upside. Gabriel Davis, yes. Is this Boston Scott that you had next?
Yeah.
Yeah, probably not. That offense is just a train wreck. So, yeah.
You skipped Gunnar Olszewski.
Yeah, I didn't even want to talk about him.
Yeah. What? Wasn't he working at Bass Pro Shops and Belichick discovered him?
Yeah, probably.
Nice. Alrighty, so let's get into our weekend review where we go over, met, and under for our players.
I knew I missed something.
Johnny, you want to kick that one off? Just rattle through your all three categories.
Yep. Overproduced this week. JJ Watt, another excellent week. He's actually having a really, really good season. So let's hope he doesn't shatter into a million pieces. Tre'Davious White, once again, and not the greatest matchup either. So that's kudos to him. Joe Schobert, obviously, with the touchdown there. That was pretty nice. Met expectations, Sam Hubbard, Aaron Donald, Bryce Hall. Underproduced, Joey Bosa, Cameron Hayward, Drake Greenlaw. Obviously, all of them will be fine. Nate, what do you got?
So for my over, I've got Kyle Van Noy. It was his highest points all season. And I don't know. Van Noy has just been annoying for three years of success ish in IDP since leaving Detroit. So he struck my eye as someone I wanted to put there just because I'm annoyed with the Lions. Met Buda Baker. He is a beast, and he did beastly things this week. Under is Chuck Clark. This was his second lowest all season.
Mm-hmm.
Scores.
All right. So I'm not gonna do all the positions because I missed this. So for over, Darren Waller putting up 200 receiving yards at tight end is just stupid. Met expectations. I got Jonathan Taylor. It's still, I don't think anyone was expecting 25, but we were expecting him to be in that RB1 conversation at the beginning of the year. So I'll put that in the Met expectations. And then under, we'll just go with the trifecta of Justin Herbert, Miles Sanders, Terry McLaurin, the week killers.
Yeah.
Dynasty Football Digest, your new essential site for Dynasty information. For as little as $1 a month, gain access to all that we have to offer. Rankings, trends, ADP, in-season assets, and a Slack chat just for subscribers. Purchase today at dynastyfootballdigest.com.
Alrighty, so let's kick off our discussion about our week. Let's start off with steak. And Johnny, what's your steak this week?
Stake would be Blue Division winner. So that was, would you say, minimum 10 years each person?
Yeah. Yep.
It was me and IDP dude fighting the whole way through. I edged him out in the last week in a head-to-head matchup that came right down to the wire. So that was cool. Beating.
IDP,
What's that?
IDP. It's the IDP Invitational.
Oh,
And it's
sorry. Yes.
10 years of experience in IDP.
Right, to get in that division. Yeah.
Yeah.
I should have said all that. I just assume everyone knows what we're talking about. Thank you, Nate. But yeah, beating such notables as Mike Waller, Justin Varnes, Tom Kay, God, who else? Seahawks Dan was in there. Kyle B.
And it was a mixture of analysts and fans. So it wasn't all just like beating up on our competitors.
Yeah, no. It was good competition. The first place spot was Justin Varnes at one point for a few weeks. IDP dude for a few weeks. I had it like once earlier in the year. Ray G, the fan.
Yep.
Yeah, was in first the entire first start of the season, first like month. So yeah, it was a crazy division. It went back and forth the whole time. That was really good stuff. Really enjoyed it. Also, first place overall in the Shark League with Sigmund Bloom and all the other Sharks. So me and Joey took that down. We're 1-2. We're just chilling this week. Salad. So nailed everything in my Superflex ticket. Got like 150 points walking into the Sunday night game. I got Mahomes and Hill. So I just need like a normal Mahomes Hill game, and I'm cleaning up in the money, right? 3 Tyreek Hill touchdowns don't happen. That 3rd and 1 where he didn't reach the ball out, and the 2 called back touchdowns, or the one that they didn't review and the one that they called back, all kept me from winning far more than the $55 I won. So not ideal, but process was right. Just didn't work out.
Gotcha. What about you, Sean?
All right, so my stake, I'd appreciate if we had no follow-up to this. Just let them check it out for themselves. But my stake is this new Twitter account with some of the best content you'll find on the internet. It's at Big Jimmy G Guy on Twitter. So just go check it out. It's a pretty awesome account.
How's your salad? What's your salad?
My salad is still no PS5.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm gonna actually take my steak and salad to make a couple announcements. So my stake is that this week, starting yesterday, the NFL, our Dynasty Football Digest NFL Draft Guides are available for pre-order for the 2021 season now. So you can go on idpguys.org and click on the magazine section and be able to purchase, pre-order your magazine for next year. And I'm releasing this early. If you want to get a discount on the Draft Magazine subscription, use coupon code NFL Draft 2021, all one word, and you'll get the subscription for the Draft Magazine bundle plus the websites for $20, which is $30 cheaper than usual. That will cover you until May when it renews for the new magazine. So you'll get all of the website content, and you'll get all of our previous magazines and be able to pre-order without making a purchase for the next fantasy football NFL Draft Guide. So again, that coupon code is NFL Draft 2021, all one word. So go on IDP Guys, check that out. But it was really cool. I mean, it's a lot of work setting all that stuff up and creating all of the different promo pictures and stuff that's needed. But I'm excited for this season. Sean's hopefully getting more involved this year.
We'll see.
And
no promises.
Johnny's the hype man.
Yep.
Really hyping over there. Nice work. So which part of that was the salad? Was it
None
that
of it.
you're giving out a coupon code, or was
Nope,
it
that was just my stake.
do you
That was
hate the
only my
magazine
stake.
that much?
So,
Okay.
so,
all right.
what's the salad? You gotta have a salad.
I do have a salad. This is the other part of the announcement. The IDP guys will be shutting down the website for 2 months, starting after fantasy playoffs. So after, I think after we'll do it after week 17. There is a cat just on your keyboard. But yeah, so the information is going to be going out in an article form. We're recording on Wednesday night, so it'll be coming out on Thursday morning, laying out what we're doing to make the site better and why we're kind of putting up there's going to be a maintenance page on the IDP guys website and the DFT site starting pretty much right after week 17, just in case any content does come in leading up to the week 17 games. If you've got really late playoffs, I don't advise it, but I want to give that opportunity to the writers. If someone wants to write a start sit for that last week, but
I ain't rating shit for week 17.
you don't usually write a start sit anyway, so it's
No, I know. I'm just saying. Nate has a good point. You shouldn't have playoffs in week 17.
you
It's
shouldn't
so
have the playoff
unpredictable.
week 17. But in case you do, and in case our writers decide to write something for week 17, I didn't want to shutter the site so soon. Or if there's still data and stuff you could be looking at. If you have those late playoffs. But so pretty much my salad is that tomorrow we are announcing a 2-month shutdown as we completely redesign the site, integrate new features for fixing like login. We've had a lot of complaints from subscribers just logging in, purchasing subscriptions, those kind of things. We've done patches in the past, but essentially I'm breaking the whole site down and rebuilding it, as well as we're doing some stuff with the DFD site that's going to be transferring that content over to IDP guys and completely changing and repurposing that website and brand.
It's long term though. It's not really a salad. It's a good thing.
Oh no, yeah, no, it's a good thing, but as a
yeah,
the announcements and all that stuff is that is the salad, and I used that to make some announcements.
Look at you multitasking.
Yeah, right.
The IDP Guys is your #1 resource for IDP information for your fantasy leagues. For as little as $1 a month, get access to all that we have to offer. Rankings, ADP trade calculator, in-season assets, and a Slack chat to get personal help all year round. Purchase today at idpguys.org.
Jonny The Greek.
Alrighty, so Jonny the Greek brought to you by Statement Games. This is where we sponsor a game on statementgames.com, a tournament, the Sunday night game, and then they sponsor this segment. So Jonny goes through, gives his 3 picks that he likes for the game, and we haven't been announcing a winner. Apparently, they've changed their rules so that this new premium VIP membership thing that they have, if you win the tournament, you have that, you just win. You don't have to do anything else. So we don't draw a name. The name was given to us. Jonny, you've got that name.
sure do. So congratulations to Jason Gomez. You are the overall winner for last week's tournament contest. And yeah, that's on statementgames.com. Real easy to play. You're ranking prop bets, basically confidence 1 to 10. We've been playing it for a couple of years now. It's really good. We did okay last week. Some things didn't go like how we thought they would, but that happens every week. All right. So this week we've got Steelers Bills. which is actually pretty good. Should be a good game. He gave us a bunch, so I'm just gonna go through these. I didn't really pick any out yet. So, what the heck? I can't read that top one. All right, so Big Ben over under 2.5 passing touchdowns this week against the Bills.
Under.
Yeah, that feels like an under. Connor over or under half a rushing touchdown.
Over.
Yeah, I mean, assuming it is Connor, but yeah, that sounds about right. Bills defense over or under 3.5 sacks. Under. Yeah, they had 0 this week.
Yeah, under.
Yeah, they just, I don't know. Their pass rush still isn't great. If Mario Addison's your best guy, you're in trouble. Stephon Diggs over under 67.5 receiving yards. Over. And Juju over under 61.5 receiving yards. This feels tough. This one's tough. Yeah, I think I'll go under as well. Deontay Johnson, though, would be over.
Yes.
That top one is Josh Allen over under 2.5 touchdowns.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I got the
Over.
today thing right in there. Yeah, I could see that. Yeah, I think it'll be a great game. Going to be close. Going to come down to the wire. Excellent Sunday night game. So we'll see how that goes.
Nice.
Okay, other bets last week we had we had Raiders -7.5 at the Jets. Should have just taken the money line. Is great. As much as that seemed like a lock, it wasn't. They only won by 3, so that's a loss. We're at 10-6 for the year. So I've learned my lesson, and I'm going Green Bay money line at Detroit this week.
What's
I
the
take
point?
this 7.5. I think.
Oh,
Yeah.
Give me Green Bay with the spread.
Okay. I'm just going to take money line because I'd rather see 11-6 than 10-7 when you guys miraculously, lose by 3.
right.
Yeah.
All right. That's all we got.
All right. Cool. Well, thank you all for joining us for episode 133. Make sure and follow us at IDP Guys. Individually, I'm at Nate Cheat. John is at OrangeMan3142, and Sean is at Lanning1925. Subscribe to the show. Go to idpguys.org. In the sidebar on the right, there are links for iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, and an RSS feed for the podcatcher of your choice. While you're there, become a subscriber. Get access to the Slack channel, to all the premium data, to the tools and stuff that we have there and in development. And remember to use the coupon code NFL Draft 2021 to get the draft magazine bundle for $20 instead of $50. So you get a $30 reduction in that price for this season, for the rest of the season, and you can pre-order next May's draft magazines as well as get the last year's magazines for free. Make sure you have subscribed to our YouTube channel, Writer Digest Network, REITER. That's where you get to see a ton of great videos. You get to see us here with our show, and we got a lot of great content coming. We've done a lot, and then we've got more coming in the off season. And finally, pre-order the 2021 NFL Draft Magazine. Go to idpguys.org, click on the magazine button, and make sure you've secured your magazine, whether digital or print, for next year. So with that,
Follow at Big Jimmy G Guy.